and it'll just pretty much go along like this. First off, we have the strings. This one's from Omnisphere, but I'm using the Logan Ensemble Solo, this sound right here. Of course, you can use any strings, especially in something like Purity, which is a very hood classic sound effect VST plugin. I'm using the arpeggiator latched parts for this, and I believe, oh yeah, and I did take off the latch for them. So if you don't know what a latch is, let me put it on. You can see I just press it once and it stays on. Yeah, that sucks. But guess what? That was the only two sounds, really. The rest of them are drum sounds. You can see Trapaholic. Hi-hat 3, that's what I used. 15. Zaytoven, here we got. Then a kick. And lastly, the bass. You can see I'm cutting itself. So that way we are not getting a confusion. So if I were to... That's annoying, right? That's better. The strings is pretty much two chords that I have right here. And this is pretty much a staple for back then with the trap music. I want you to think of people like Chief Keef and all them. When you hear strings, what's his face? I'm in love with the cocoa. This one is just straight up two chords. This D, E, F, G, A. That's a D major. No, D minor. And then we have D, or we have G. And then this is a B flat and D, G, B, D. Arp is just one chord right here. And it literally loops through. For the hi-hats, we are using triplets. So this is just, it's not really like hard in the paint. And keep mind of the velocity. We do want to have this managed, because if it's all one stagnant sound, sometimes it could really lead to just, you know, robotic feeling, especially when people are hitting drum pads to create these beats on the Akais. Man, it's really hard to breathe. Next up, we got the hi-hat open. This one is on every single one. The snare is more creative. I mean, it's not too hard, but this one is just overlaid on top of the other one. So it's a different type of snare sound. That's the snare sound you usually hear in trap music more. Kick. This is copying the melody of the bass kick, the bass, the 808, but it's keeping just one note instead of the bass has a whole little melody line. And that bass melody line really gives trap its feel. Yep. Right here, you can see this is pretty much the tweet that was like, all right, let me make a video on this. We need mixtapes back. Shit just too watered down now because everyone trying to be perfect. And being perfect, what he's saying there, I'm translating as it's too clean, meaning it's been too surgically adjusted. So we need sounds to be dirty, as in not really too much going on. Let me hit play. All right, so that is the next beat right there. I'm just gonna run through this because I don't want this video to be too long for y'all. Next is 3 for the bell. So if I hit this, you can tell it's hella reverbed, and it's pretty much because I used reverb. Right here, a lot of wet. Here's our buddy again, Purity. This time for a flute, the recorder. All right, next is 3. This is for a arpeggiated sound, but you can see I used it as something else too. If I hold it, 1 foot in the rave. Here's the arpeggiator, and I did adjust this one, the speed, to 1/116th. Halion Sonic is another one that's really great. This one's for a harpsichord. Again, we just have chords here. If I were to hit Control Q to quantize, this is usually how beat makers or amateurs or, beginners, whatever, would use it like. But there's a feature in FL Studio you could use called the strum. So I'm going to click the piano roll options, tools, and go to strum. And you can see right here, the sound's pretty much moved. But if I reset, there you can see. So strum is automatically activating as a guitar strum. So when you brush your hands on the strings, that's what the strum is doing for you. Snare, pretty much the same snare we used in the first beat. This one, got a little bell at the end too. Chant, triplets. Hat 2. I hate that buzz sound. You hear that? It just came out of nowhere as soon as I hit record. Open hat over here, I have it on the second half of the pattern. And you hear that piano roll, the velocities, having it go downwards. Remember, high frequencies, not really the best of friends when it comes to 2005 to 2010. Kick, similar. 808 bass, again, cutting itself. But if I were to show you here, in this example, look here, right? If I click it, you heard how long it goes? Let me hit play. You see how the bass cuts off? That's because I created something called a ghost note. So it's pretty much creating a note and then taking the velocity, putting it all the way down. Couple more things here. We have the reverse bell. So it's pretty much the belt right here. I recorded in Edison and then I flipped it around. And then, of course, if I hit play. There you go. And lastly, we have the organ. This one is from Native Instruments. I'll just zoom into it because Native Instruments suck. I don't know why they don't have a GUI. Unless it's in the update, then I gotta pay to play, huh? Make sure you hit thumbs up and subscribe, by the way. It'll support your boy. But these are the settings here for this, and that's what that sounds like. This is signature Zaytoven right here. But did you notice the sound fade away? It's because I have a event in here. So I go to Control and I go to the volume, and then I right click and create a ramp up. And I right click again to create a ramp down. But this right here is controlling the volume knob over here. If I hit play, take a look over here. And I do have one as well on the bell right here. You could pan them a little bit if you want, of course, no problem in panning. But when it comes to adjusting it, so we, like I would usually show you this in the videos where we would sculpt out the sound for the clap. Let's say, hey, let's cut out unwanted frequencies that's not in the clap, or it's going to take over the kick or whatever. That's what TM88 was referencing to when it says, hey, it sounds too clean. That's what he means. But let's see, a couple more things. Just a chant. We have Avox Choir. If you want, link in the description for Auto-Tune Unlimited. I always got to plug in, you know what I'm saying? You can see how with the choir effect, it really makes a choir, make a surrounded sound. Purity, just a reverb. It just sounds more full with it. Like that, not really. The reverse bell has a reverb as well. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your thumbs up, your subscribes. It really helps your boy.